Hello, everybody. My name is Ed. I am in my armchair, and the smoking lamp is lit. And guess what I'm smoking today? My favorite pipe. Look at this guy. This is, remember, I'm going through Stanwell's this month and next month, or at least 2 a day, because I got a lot of them. But this is designed by Sexton Everson, again, the godfather of definitely Danish designers. This is kind of an egg. This is pipe 02. Look at the lines on this guy. It's kind of an egg. He did a fair amount of those. He did a lot of designs that just were not typical Dunhill-like pipes, although he did a fair amount of straight billiards and, stuff. This is the O2, and this pipe, well, actually, I'm going to show you another one first. It's this pipe. You guessed it, it's the same O2. This is a good explanation of kind of what I'm doing with my collecting the Stanwell Sexton Everson pipes. Because as soon as I see a pipe that's his that I don't have, I would get it. Like this one. Now, with Stanwell, there's what they call the register numbered pipes. And if a pipe had these markings on it, they'd be in here. It has the registration number on it. And with that registration number, during their registration period, which was about from 1948, I think, to the mid-60s, those pipes obviously are older. After that, the same design will be made, and they just won't have the registration, so they won't. So you know that they're probably 65 or younger than that. They also did pipes in the 300 range. For example, 30 or 325, for example. That's the Sexton Everson 25, but obviously a much later version, 325, and even have some 900 series, 925. Gives you a little bit of an idea of the age, but they didn't really age these, put date stamp on them and stuff. So, when I see a pipe that I don't have, I, of course, would grab it, but always keeping in touch with the idea of getting a better one. Now, this O2, the second one, was not a registration number, so it can be anywhere from 1965, around there, or, younger or newer. It's in beautiful shape. Look at that. I mean, it's nice. It's obviously not a flame grain, but still great pipe. Just smoked this one last night. I like it. But keeping what I was just saying, so I got this O2 first. A little later on, I saw that the older one was available, and I got it. And that's what's kind of going on. So even if I have a number, and I still have a few full numbers that I haven't, found yet. Some of those, like if any of the 325 or whatever, pops up with the 25, I'm getting that. So I'm looking at all of his pipes for Stanwell, and then upgrading it if I can. So I have a few. What I'm doing is I am kind of cataloging my Stanwells completely. I've kind of kept on track, but I am listing them, if their registration number, if there's anything special about them, and I'm going to count them all and get a good looking of it, so I need to have a good look. I have, maybe 130 Stanwells, and a lot of that has to be with, well, when I'm looking for Stanwells, all of us I see another one that's like really nice, I might get it, or I've gotten a couple of them because I'm upgrading. So hence, 2 of the O2, and I'm kind of upgrading. So it's really designed to just keep me going until I'm too senile to know what a Stanwell is. So that is what I am doing with my Stanwells. And this, an O2. Remember, I already got as my holy grail, the O1 Nefertiti. I'll be showing you that in a few weeks. My Stanwell pipes. So, a quick little something for Thomas Ebdrup. He's the gentleman who found me the Holy Grail, my Stanwell 01 Nefertiti. Little VR, because he's asking, the difference between a high-end pipe and a low-end pipe. I gotta kind of describe this a little different than most, because I rarely get a brand new pipe. I get most of my pipes through eBay or used, or if they're new, it's probably because I got them from an artisan pipe maker. Simon, Jason Mouton, Beans, a lot of other people. Giuliani Speccolini. Those pipes I love, cherish, and that's kind of what I go by. If it's something of a high-end pipe, and I do have them, believe me, I do have them, but it'd be stuff like my birth year, Dunhill, from 1950. It doesn't matter if it's a great pipe, smoking pipe, or not. It's the whole thought of it. Now, it happens to be a very good pipe. A smooth billiard, classic pipe. Yes, I have Costellos, a lot of Vaughan, Ardeur. But I'm more attracted to the style of them. A pipe has to look good to me. That's the key for me. So, if by smoking a new, Dr. Grabo versus a new Costello, that is not the important point. It's, do I like it? Do I like the looks? Do I like the shape? Does it look good for me? And then breaking them in, they can, for the most part, all work good for me. They're part of the family. So, just a little bit of my thoughts. Again, my palate is not such that, wow, I can tell this is different compared to that. Nah. If I see it and I like it, I buy it. I smoke it. All of my pipes have been smoked by me. In fact, I'm going through now, doing all my Stanwells. So that's a little something for Thomas. Just my thoughts. So, lately, my last video was while I was in the Navy talking about the moon landings and how my ship, or me, had a little something, not something to do with it, but they crossed my path. And with that, with the comments and then others, people were talking, got a lot of things about, my Navy life. So I'm going to give you a little bit what we did, or what I did in the Navy. And that was, I was a signalman. Signalman basically is above the pilot house. And he would be basically a very superior, whatever, lookout. But the things we did, one would be flashing light. We would have, it was a 20-inch or 24-inch searchlight. It looked like a searchlight, but a 1,000-watt bulb, reflective glass. And we would just, go out. We talked in Morse code and some combinations, codes, and back and forth. And in those days, radio, obviously we had radio, so you think, well, why don't we just send it on radio? Thing with radio was, at that time, it couldn't be too, it could be, basically would be broadcast out, not just immediately to each ship, so the enemy could intercept by messages. So the signal bridge with their lamps would send messages back and forth from the signal bridge to signal bridge, because you can direct the light and have a much better chance of the enemy not seeing, what you're saying. Right now, in the military, there is no signalman anymore. The few things that a signalman had to do special, they're now part of the quartermaster will do that. But at that time, so it was Morse code. I was getting to about 15 words a minute that I could receive and send. I can send a little bit faster than I was receiving, but around 15 words a minute, which is pretty good. When we had important messages, we always had to have two people on watch, because one would be working the light, reading what the other ship was saying, sending back, and then another person would be recording basically on a clipboard notepad in pencil, because ink could stain. So if it was raining or something, so in pencil. And kind of a notepad, which then as soon as we received the message, be taken off, and then that signalman, probably the guy that was reading, would then take that down to whichever officer or wherever it had to be. So that was the signal bridge, or the signal light. In fact, I have one. I'll have a picture here. It's a signalman's lamp, obviously not an official one. I use it as actually Doc uses it as a reading light for him in his chair. I can also remember that light at night. Now, I was in Hawaii. I went to the Philippines and, yes, Vietnam. Occasionally, I'd go up to as high as Japan and could have cold weather. I can remember turning on the signal light, just have the shutters off, and then just putting my arms around the top of it, pressing my chest, because that signal light could get very warm. That's what I would do if I had to be outside, which usually I did. Usually my ship was on with another ship. So we always had to keep track of that ship and then looking around in case anything else popped up. And again, that all was Morse code. That was one facet of my job as a signalman. Next week, or maybe the week after, semaphore, flags, honors and ceremonies. Look out. Just being out to sea. So you'll get a little bit more familiar with what I did, and I get a chance to reminisce about some good times in my life, maybe a little bit of bad ones. So there. Well, I hope you like this. Remember, if you don't like this, you're not going to get to heaven. So may your smoking lamp always be lit. Take care out there.